Something severely messed up happens to your brain when you continually watch this lifestyle content stuff you guys see on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. And I'm not talking about comparison or jealousy. Everyone knows that aspect of it. Lifestyle content literally destroys your reward system in your brain and reprograms how you process effort, time, reward when it comes to like starting a business or making money. And once that programming really starts to kick in your brain, it's the single reason why you constantly get this sort of shiny object syndrome and keep quitting everything you start after the first month. It's not because you're inherently lazy, it's because you've literally been poisoned and reprogrammed by the content you see every day. And if you can't even sit still and watch this video with like no flashy edits, cuts, or anything like that, your dopamine is most likely already cooked from watching 20-year-olds drive around Uruses in Miami. Even watching this, you're probably thinking about other stuff to go on your phone. You probably want to go scroll Instagram Reels or look at TikToks. And at that point, and honestly, that should scare you. And that should genuinely scare you. Now, you probably watch lifestyle content. Literally everyone has. The dude showing off his $25,000 penthouse, showing his Shopify dashboard of millions of dollars in revenue. Just kids at a young age doing like absurd stuff, making you feel behind. You watching that video, what it does is makes you feel like you're getting information. It makes you feel like you're working towards your goals, getting motivated, getting inspired, but in reality, it's doing the exact opposite and actually keeping you in the same spot. You think you're feeding your ambition, but it's the complete opposite. And I know this because I've studied psychology for the past 3 years. I've been a sales rep, so I kind of understand how the brain works for the most part, and it's literally hijacking your brain to set you up for failure. So what you're actually doing to yourself in your brain is you are training your brain to expect results on a timeline that doesn't exist. Every single piece of lifestyle content, whether it's a 10-second reel or whether it's a 10-minute video on YouTube, is literally compressing someone's entire journey as an entrepreneur. Even if they're 20 years old, you don't get to see behind the scenes, right? They pick and choose that highlight reel. They could have gone through 10 years of failure before that, or they just could be outright faking it, and your brain doesn't know the difference. Your brain sees input and creates expectations from that input you're watching. So when you watch a guy go from dead broke to $50,000 a month in 3 months, your brain goes, oh, that's how long it takes. Not consciously, obviously everyone's smarter than that. They know it takes a little bit of hard work, but subconsciously your brain starts to take that in, saying, oh, it's not gonna take that long. I'm gonna be able to be a multimillionaire by the time I'm 23, 24. So on a deep neurological level, your brain is literally setting yourself up for failure because it thinks that that's the expectation. And if you guys don't already know this, entrepreneurship and all these lifestyle content videos, the niche of this is actually a last man standing game. It's not who can get rich the quickest, it's who can stay in the game the longest. There's been so many people that have ran up $100,000 a month and they're nowhere to fucking be seen now. And that's the last thing you want to do. So you're literally setting yourself up for failure subconsciously by thinking you can do it really, really fast. And that's exactly why you watching this video probably quit everything after 2 weeks or 2 months or 6 months. Or worst case scenario is you actually make something work, but it doesn't last because you didn't learn the fundamental skills because you think you could do it so fast. And once you get into that mindset of, trying stuff, failing, you start to think, oh, it's a scam. Oh, it's not real. None of this works. And your brain really starts to go in some sort of dark mode about the industry. Nothing is inherently a scam. Majority of stuff you guys see online isn't a scam. You just quit. You just didn't stay in the game long enough, as these other people did that are posting lifestyle content, to see tangible results. You watched 500 hours of lifestyle content and people buying new cars, and now your brain literally cannot tolerate the effort and reward system that it's supposed to work on. You've given yourself the attention span of someone that thinks they deserve a Lamborghini after 2 months of work. And when the Lamborghini doesn't show up, you don't think, oh, I need more time or I need to stay in the game longer. You think, I got scammed. So let me most likely describe the exact pattern you've been through, because I understand. I've coached tons of people. I understand the pattern that people constantly go through. You find a new opportunity. Could be drop shipping, could be sales, could be SMA, could be TikTok shop. You watch a bunch of videos on it. You start to think that you can do it. You get really excited. You're really motivated for a week or 2 weeks or 2 months even. And then the initial excitement wears off. You start to realize that there's actual work, there's actual road bumps. It's not just like a 10-minute highlight reel video and you're buying a Lamborghini, and then you quit. But you don't consciously quit. It's sort of like your brain starts rejecting the actual unglamorous work that you have to do, really boring tasks that you don't realize it takes, because subconsciously in the back of your head, you really thought these results were gonna come super quick, and they're not. So your brain starts not enjoying the process, it starts rejecting the work you have to do, and eventually you quit. And this is the part that fucks everyone up, is because then they start to go online and call stuff scams, say it doesn't work, this and that. And although there are scams, majority of the people, probably 97% of the people that are calling stuff scams, never stuck in the game long enough to try to see if it works. So let me give you an actual timeline of what's probably gonna happen if you are like the 10% of people that actually wanna make it work. Number one is you have to realize that it's a longer horizon. It's 2026 right now. You should be thinking about you in 2028. If you have that really long horizon, you're gonna take better moves on the chessboard. If you pick a legitimate skill, it could be anything, SMMA, starting an agency, starting sales, months months 1 through 3 is just gonna be confusion. It's just gonna be pure mayhem and confusion of I have no idea what the fuck's going on, and you just have to figure that out and navigate. You're bad at it, people are making fun of you, people are asking what the fuck you're doing, you're questioning everything. This is where 90% of people, so this already knocks out 9 out of 10 people right off the bat in month 1 through 3. Month 3 through 6, once majority of people have been knocked out, you start to get slightly better. You start to understand the process a little bit more. And think about it, all humans are the same, right? Every person you're watching this video is exactly like you. There's no one that's like insanely high IQ besides like a few people like Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, etc. But majority of people you're watching online are exactly like you. They just stuck through those stages. They went through month 1 through 3. They went through 3 through 6. They stayed in the game for years and years and just got better over time. So month 3 through 6, you might make a few $100. You're getting slightly better. This is where another 8% of people quit because obviously it doesn't feel like enough, right? You're not making those $10,000 months, $20,000, $30,000 months. You're just not seeing the results that you were promised. Now, months 6 through 12 are where it starts to get fun. This is where the hill starts to turn upwards and you start to build momentum, okay? Right moves, months 6 through 12 of learning a skill every single day, you will start to see real upside. This is where your skill has gotten sharp enough to where you can see momentum if you make the right moves, so results starts to kick in a lot faster, okay? This is where the ball really starts to roll. You're not rich yet, but you're at the point where like you're building momentum and you could get to that point really soon. Now, month 12 through 24 is when it really breaks. Once you've built that momentum, you've proven to not only yourself, but other people that you have the skill set, you're sharp at what you do. This is when you really start to break it open. This is where people start to hit 5K, 10K, 20K months consistently because they finally just stuck in the game long enough. You notice how it wasn't some crazy like luck or something crazy. Obviously there's luck involved somehow, but if you show up every single day from months 12 to 24, it's inevitable with you with a sharp skill set that something's gonna happen. And that's the real timeline. That's not a sexy answer and no one posts this stuff on Instagram because it's not really like attractive. Everyone's timeline is different because certain things happen to certain people at random times, right? This is where the luck factor is involved. But if you stay down every single day, something's gonna happen. Like me, for example, I started in high ticket sales. I was able to see results a lot quicker than other people because I said yes to every single opportunity. So I was able to see my first $10,000 months within my 3rd month. But at that point, I still didn't quit. It just kept compounding over time. And then I was able to get like a snowball effect to start my own business, make over 100K a month, figure it out as time went on and just never quit. Now I do know a lot of people that started in the same shoes as me, same sales team, same sales training. They just quit halfway through and it still to this day baffles me so much. Now I know everything I'm talking about is true because I literally lived it word for word, bar for bar. I quit so many fucking business models. I tried drop shipping, I quit. I tried meme coin trading, I quit. And then it got to the point where it's literally like, if I don't figure this out, I am genuinely fucked, okay? I was about to have my 21st birthday. I did not want to be dead broke at 21. I had a shitty situation. I had a terrible apartment. My parents had no money. So I decided to just say, fuck it. I'm gonna stop looking at things and trying to win in 3 months. I'm gonna start to look at things in like a 2, 3, 5 year horizon, okay? I was like, I'm just gonna fundamentally become the best I possibly can at one skill, and I chose sales. I could have chosen another skill, but I chose sales. This was one of those skill sets among many others that is directly correlated with how good you get, the more money you make. So I just knew that if I got so sharp at this skill, it was inevitable that I was going to make a lot of money in the future. It's not about how many hours you put in. It's not about the degree you have. It's how good are you at this skill. You can make more money. That's it. And now getting good takes time. I fucking hated my life for about 6 to 8 months as I was really getting good at this skill and grinding. But I didn't let the lifestyle content convince me that if it didn't happen quick, that it was a scam, right? I really just saw it through and saw it on a long-term horizon. And it was really, really hard to do that. Most days I wanted to quit, but I just kept thinking, if I don't quit, where will I be in 2 years? And that just constant thought kept me going. That's why I put together something that is super boring, but it's going to weed out 97% of people that don't want to make it. I dropped a 4-hour course about everything you need to know about learning sales. Majority of you guys are not going to click on that video, let alone watch the entire thing and take notes on it. But for the people that were like me and in a situation where it's like, dude, I have to figure this out. I hate my job. I have to make a move. I created this for you guys. It's 4 hours. It's completely for free. I drop everything I know about sales on YouTube and how I was able to use sales to go from absolutely hating my life at 20 years old to making over 100K at 22. Now I've invested thousands of dollars into courses and stuff like that to learn these skill sets. I'm not asking you to buy anything. I just want to weed out the people that don't actually want to do this and create a channel of people that are actually willing to go away from brain rot content and just learn tangible skill sets to change their life. So I drop it completely for free. You guys can click the link in the description. That's my second channel where all I do is talk about sales. So you can watch it, learn the skill if you want to, but please don't even attempt to watch it if you're the type of person that calls stuff scams. If you're gonna watch it for like half a second and be like, oh, this is a scam, this isn't real, don't even fucking click the link. If you're just someone that actually genuinely wants to learn a skill set on like a 2-year horizon, horizon, then go ahead and watch that video. Let me leave you with one thing, okay? When you scroll on your phone after you watch this video and you go on TikTok and Reels and you see some dude buying a $700,000 car at 20 years old, understand what's happening. I'm not saying stop watching that content. It's inevitable to watch that content, but just know what's happening. Be aware and understand that you're not being inspired, you're being programmed. You're training your brain to expect things on a timeline that just doesn't exist. Don't let a 22-year-old buying some crazy stuff or flexing their money or apartment or whatever it is convince your subconscious that it's not doable for you. Understand that it's not fast, you're being programmed, and I promise it is worth it if you just think on a longer horizon. Stop watching, start doing, and don't quit this time.